Hi everyone, I just wanted to share my experience and what I did to restore my Cabbage Patch Preemie doll, Noria. Noria is an older doll. She's about 35 years old. She was and is very well loved. She went with me everywhere when I was a kid. Her body is very dirty. I assumed all of this was staining. There's a little birthmark there. I think I just got something on her and my mom couldn't get it out and told me it was a birthmark. She does have some dark spots on her face known as pocks. Her head didn't turn yellow over the years, but it actually turned orange. So I didn't know if I'd be able to do anything with that. She had a pretty gnarly scar on her neck from a surgery my mom did when I was little. I didn't know what all I was going to be able to do with her, but I thought any improvement would be nice. I was really willing to go all in and try just about anything. First things first, she needed a bath. So I mixed a little bit of OxyClean, a little bit of borax, and a little bit of laundry detergent in hot water. As a pre-treatment, I sprayed her whole body down with Grandma's Secret Spot Remover. While the spot remover was soaking into her body, I dipped the toothbrush in her bath water and started gently scrubbing her head with it. I was shocked at how quickly and easily her head came clean. For her bath, I wanted to get her as clean as possible, so I took some time and didn't hold anything back in scrubbing her with that toothbrush. After scrubbing, I left her to soak for about half an hour. I was pleasantly surprised to see how clean she was when she came out of her bath. I started looking at what sewing I'd need to do. She had a loose stitch between her middle and index fingers on her right hand. She had some damage to the pinky on her left hand. Excuse the cat hair. She had a tiny hole on the front of her neck. She still had a light birthmark, but I'm okay with that. Her feet and legs looked pretty good. Her neck needed to be readdressed, and I needed to do something with the run going down her back. But overall, it didn't look too bad. Before I started on the sewing, I actually wanted to get started on Noria's head. I wanted to try the process of retrobriting. Other YouTubers were using this technique to de-yellow plastics like computer parts and action figures. I started by detaching Noria's head from her body by cutting the zip tie that held the two together. Then I took 30 volume cream developer, covered Noria's head with it, and then wrapped it tightly in plastic and set the head in front of the space heater under my desk at work so I could keep a close eye on it. I left it there for the entire workday. Wow. I didn't know if that was going to work, but it worked so well. It even lightened the pocks. I'm so happy with this result. Next, I started working on her face. Her eyes were very faded. I didn't have enough faith in myself to repaint her eyes, so I decided to use pictures of another Cabbage Patch doll's eyes from the internet to make water slide decals. The water slide decal paper I used was actually clear, so I had to paint the other side with white paint so that she would have the white parts of her eyes. Now that she had eyes, she needed eyebrows, so I used multi-surface paint and a tiny paintbrush to hand paint them on. I didn't take any pictures or videos of my sewing, but I did fix the loose stitch between the two fingers on her right hand and the tiny hole in the front of her neck. I did the best I could to repair the damage to her left pinky. She had a little bit of separation at the top of her left arm, so I fixed that. And I did the best I could with the back of her neck and the run going down her back, but I'm pretty happy with it. It was time to reattach her head to her body, but as you can see, she had a little trouble holding her head up. Her torso has a pouch inside that's full of poly beads. I decided to just add some stuffing above that pouch to give her a little bit of support. I inserted the zip tie into her neck so that I could reattach her head. I went ahead and formed the circle before trying to put her head in the neck hole. It makes it a little bit easier. Then I tightened it as much as I could. We don't want her head falling off. I cut the excess off of the zip tie and made sure that the edge wasn't sharp. I sewed up the little hole in her neck and she was done. Now she can hold her head up high. Look how great she looks in her after pics. That's an amazing transformation. Now she needs some gifts for being such a good sport through the process. I decided she needed her own little buddy, so I made one for her out of baby socks. I'll link the tutorial in the description. Although the real Lil Buddy wasn't too impressed. I also found out they had tiny Cabbage Patch dolls, so I bought this one because it looked like her, although it had brown eyes. So I got the tiny paintbrush back out and hand painted these ones blue. I also threw together a little dress for her. I washed Noria's dress and put it back on her along with her jewelry, and gave her her gifts. She looks so happy. Now she's back in her place, sitting on my dresser.